Good morning and welcome to JCTV Africa. My name is Marvelous Dlamini. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our morning update where we give you the trending stories from the Sunshine City. Like I said yesterday, my colleague is going to be joining me today as we give you the trending stories. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I needed to take a day off after, an eventful weekend in Rwanda. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're still going on and on about the Gwanda issue, but it's okay. I'm glad that you're here today, and then we're just gonna be able to discuss the trending stories. But I'm loving the weather today, and it looks like it's all clear skies, and it's gonna be like this the whole day.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly, windy, a little bit, but it's okay.
Now, getting into our trending stories, the vice president, that is Constantino Chiwenga, has done it again. Continuing threats on, last time he was threatening money changers that it might end up in violence where they get beaten and get injured. And yesterday he also made some remarks that shops, that is supermarkets, that are not accepting the ZiG and are still trading in the US dollars, they risk being closed, meaning that they're going to be shut down. He said that he is going to shut down those shops that are still not accepting the ZiG.
Yeah. I think it comes to, you remember in 2019 when he did that famous, you will not work, it will not work, you will not work. I don't know what was going on there. So it's kind of like command economics, but that I definitely believe that it will not work in this economy, because the currency has to be tested on the free market, and that is something that it has to endure the test of time. And it's not like people are not accepting ZiG per se, but is the conditions at which how it was introduced. It was introduced, and then it was not given as into the market, which is a problem. So they need to deal with the issue that the shortage of ZiG creates that panic, and that is what supermarkets, they are simply responding to the laws of economics and trying to then intimidate them and saying you are going to be injured. I know he's a military man, so he always,
Yeah, and we take threats seriously, especially in Zimbabwe. You never really know what is going to happen. Yeah. But still on that, remember last time we were talking about 65 money changers that were arrested, on allegations that they are sabotaging the ZiG. 14 of them appeared in court yesterday with the bail application, but then they were denied that bail and they are remanded in custody until the 30th of April. Right now they are still supposedly waiting for the officers that actually arrested them to come to court and maybe do some explanations. I don't know what's going around that, but now they are still in custody until the 30th of April, and the remaining ones, they will still appear in court today, and we'll give an update that in the evening as well.
Of course, what is happening is that, you remember the statutory instrument that introduced the ZiG is what the law is being applied using that. But I really think that it is not profitable for the nation for them to stay in custody, because, to be very, very serious, these are not the manipulators of the economy, but there are big fishes that are actually doing that. You know that if you go to a bank right now, you will not be able to access the US dollar openly, but you are getting it in the streets. And you ask yourself, where are those people that are holding those amounts of money in big, huge cash that you cannot get in bank? That raises a big question. Yeah. Where is the money coming from, and is it being accessed through proper channels? If it is not accessed through proper channels, then you are creating a problem. And the ones that are holding all those amounts of money are the ones that are supposed to be answerable to the law enforcement officers or enforcement agencies, because they are not using the money through proper channels. Look at the likes of Shiwenga, will be holding huge amounts of cash, and if you look at other people who gloat with their money, they'll be holding amounts of cash, and nobody questions where that money is coming from and how did they access, which bank did they go to get that amount of money. That raises a lot of questions. So those are the ones that are supposed to be targeted, not these small lizards, as I put it.
Yeah, that's true. And someone actually read some comments, and someone was saying that how can you say that almost everyone in Zimbabwe is like now a money changer? Because look at the situation where civil servants, they're paid in local currency, but still they have to access goods that are being charged in US dollars. Where are they getting the US dollars when they're being paid in local currency, and now they have to pay for goods in US dollars. So someone was like, it seems like everyone now has become a money changer, because at the end of the day, we still have to pay for goods using foreign currency and not our local currency. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are going on there, and I feel like, you know, it's a discussion that we need to have and maybe have a conclusion to it, because I feel like it's just going to be going on and on and on and on, and I don't know until when. But now going into our another story, Starlink, you know, Starlink has been trending lately. You know, people have been selling Starlink and they've been using Starlink without it being legally registered. And now maybe it might be good news that Starlink has actually submitted its papers to Portras and they're in the process of being licensed. But now the thing is, we don't know or as to how long is that process going to take and what is actually going to happen, you know, after some time. Maybe it's going to take a year, maybe it's going to take, because the spokesperson for Portras didn't really specify to say
the timelines.
When is the license going to be out. So we just said they submitted the papers and they paid for the license, but we don't know how long that process is going to take.
Yeah, probably it was meant to silence people who were vocal about it, but I don't think it is something that should take a lot of time. Since people have already been using it, we know the state broadcaster once had it, and the likes of ZTN, it was seen, and I really think that having many players in the market would make sure that the competition can reduce the data price, because we are still one of the most expensive data expensive countries that has got data, which is crazy. Like, the countries that are in war, they've got less data prices. But here we have got unheard of data prices, which makes it very difficult even for the general public to go on the internet. We also talk of creators that are in here. We talk of musicians that are not able to thrive because they cannot have these privileges of being online all the time. And everything is now online. AI, people are learning using AI. So now, having more players on the market is actually a good thing, and we hope that Starlink will be legalized and this will be over.
Yeah, so keep track on that as well. And you were telling me about a story this morning that there's a 70-year-old that was impregnated by a 23-year-old. I'm still trying to get myself to understand the whole concept, or maybe you can explain it to me a little bit.
Yeah. It is a video that is that we found on H Metro of a 70-year-old woman. I'm still to verify. I think we are going to have to go and visit her probably and find out. But she looked so happy about being pregnanted by someone who's 23-year-old. Totally unheard of. We know that many women, they reach their menopause probably in their 50s and all of that. Yes. And sometimes, but this is...
Yeah, that's what I was saying to say. My science, maybe I might have missed some classes, but then my science is not totally in agreement with that. But then we still have to verify and see... Yeah. How did the whole thing happen? Is she really 70, or is just, you know, the misinterpretation of the video? Yeah. I don't know, but I think there's something to talk about. And we're also linking it to how recently there were Kenyans that were trending, cousins for actually marrying
they're actually siblings for marrying each other. It's something that is trending that I saw on Afrimax and other social media platforms that are based in Kenya. And it's really concerning. We are seeing all these, you know, weird things that are happening in the world, and we don't know. Maybe it is the end of the world. We never know.
Yeah, we don't know. And then last week we were talking about graves that were being vandalized, and now we don't know what or who is vandalizing the graves. So I think there's just a lot that is going on, you know, especially in Africa, you know. And now we're looking at Zimbabwe. This is happening. So yeah, I don't know, but that's the story that we're gonna look at. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our daily update. My name is Marvelous Lamini,
and I'm Kenan Rusike. We'll see you on the evening update.